Thank you, Angie, for such a kind words. It's a pleasure to be a part of the network. Hello, everyone. My name is Gunjan Seth. I'm from Toronto, FAC member from Holland Bloorview Kids Rehabilitation Hospital. I'm a mother of a 12-year-old boy with autism. His name is Ajay. Back in 2008, my husband and I were preparing to welcome our first baby into our lives and eagerly counting the days leading up to the magical date of April 14. We had just moved to a new town and we were extremely excited about the new beginnings. And it was still mid January, there was time, and we went about making our dreamy welcome plans patiently. Well, we had some time, or so we thought, until life happened in its mysterious ways. And life did not have time. On a January 29th evening, routine checkup, the doctor broke the shattering news to me. The baby had to be delivered immediately. I had preeclampsia, and the two of us had to be separated to save each other. My husband was out of town on a business. What do I do? My heart and mind raced, only aggravating my blood pressure. As I said, life did not have time. Induced by C section, a little boy came into this world in the early hours of January 30th at 29 weeks, weighing only 927 grams. I vaguely remember having a glimpse of him before he was taken immediately to NICU under a tag named Baby Boy Seth. We did not have a name for him yet. I never felt so alone before. Fortunately, my husband arrived in the afternoon of the 30th, and we knew all plans had to be rewritten. Also, then began baby boy Seth's ordeal as a NICU baby. He was on oxygen for 3 weeks, developed jaundice upon birth, had to be operated for dual hernia, stayed under incubation for 1 month, and in intensive care for another 2 months. He underwent blood transfusion thrice. Nutrients had to pushed into him through a PICC line due to the lack of vein development and was tongue tied and developed brachycephaly. That meant his skull was not developing in a proper shape. Once in the middle of all medical machinery poked into his skin and the pain, he smiled for the first time. It was a real smile. We named him. Baby boy Seth was now Ajay. It means one who is unconquered. Can you please move the next slide, please? Thank you. Our journey right from his date of being released from NICU on an apnea monitor to his speech delays, gross and fine motor delays, onset of mild asthma, and until his confirmed diagnosis of moderate autism in later years. Our journey has been set off small pulls one day at a time. We started his early intervention very early, when he was just 6 months old, due to his prematurity. In fact, he never slept well from birth till he turned 5. He used to wake up after every 3 to 4 hours at night. Sleep education helped me to improve his sleep, but he still has difficulty with falling asleep. These challenges impacted his focus, learning, and quality of life. Since his birth till he turned 10, I do not recall a single night when I myself slept for 8 hours. Every year is different. Some challenges reduce and new ones emerge. He's extremely sensitive to sounds. Sounds that are so low that even we cannot detect, such as feeble clicks of thermostat. Thermostat therefore becomes a source of anxiety, and so do many triggers, ranging from a phone text, ringtones, fire alarm, to the siren of fire engine. We can see that anxiety is a day-long struggle for him. He just strives to cope with it. But all this disturbs his quality of life, focus, learning. It pains me to experience that venues of joy, such as fairs, carnivals, theaters, movies, that normally are sources of fun and happiness to the children causes a lot of distress to him. He's unable to cope with the element of uncertainty and surprise. Let me share an example of how his anxiety looks like. So we went to watch SpongeBob Broadway show last year. And as soon as we reached there, he developed headache. His body became tense. He was close to vomiting and stood close to the entrance till the show began. We planned this trip so that he can experience these shows and find happiness. Though he was very tense and much worried at the beginning of the show, but gradually he got engaged and happy. Later, he watched the same show on YouTube many times as there was no element of uncertainty and surprise left for him. Also, he's so alert that as soon as he wakes up in the morning, he rushes to ensure all machines, including laptops, security alarms, are switched to zero volumes. He finds it tough to emotionally regulate himself. He is not fully cognizant of safety, social norms, and in the new norm, does not understand social distancing. He struggles to belong in society. In a true sense, I say, in a true sense, there is no inclusion. Has he had acceptance at school, at playgrounds, at games, at play dates, birthday invitations? Yes, he has had wonderful peers. But are they his true friends or just an act of kindness? I believe it's a latter. We can tell he's coming of age in his own ways, wants to talk to girls, but is so scared to express and follow boundaries. It pains me to think about his future and if there may ever be a true sense of inclusion, which is not out of sense of pity, nor even kindness, but just normal everyday inclusion. I worry about his independence, his financial future, and being at the mercy of wills and trusts when we are gone. He's a happy camper, always cheering others. He's good with Lego and riddles, and he loves his car rides so much so that he once hacked into my phone password, ordered a ride share, and took a trip to his favorite mall all alone. It was our first 911 call, and all turned out okay in the end, but a different story altogether. Next slide, please. Thank you. He's smart, just needs channeling and true inclusion and pathway to self reliance. We want him to be financially independent, live his life to the fullest, work, have a vacation, travel, find happiness and safety. I want to share with you that this is the first time that I'm being so open about our daily challenges. I love my son to the moon, but will not hesitate to say that every day is full of challenges. COVID 19 has added so much stress, so much responsibilities, uncertainty, and stress in our lives. No matter how much resilience we build, everyone has a breaking point, and I do not know when I may not be able to take any more. Let me be very honest. I feel extremely drained. But there is one hope that drives me every day. A hope that there will be more advancement in research, treatments, and interventions, and my child can lead an independent life. You all are my hope, and I thank you for your support. My hope is that of a giant leap forward toward those ends. Life taught us a big lesson that we do not always have time on our hands. The system, while are supportive, yet constantly profess that this is a never ever ending journey and there will always be baby steps along the way. We do not have time to baby steps for trial and error and for uncertainty. My hope is that of a radical jump. I'm desperate to learn about radically different interventions to enrich my son's life and my life. Next slide, please. Thank you. My hope is that parents and clinicians can begin to co-produce and learn about the best ways to ask parents about their hopes, their child's goals and long term vision for their child and family, and how to build this into the visit. One day I will die. I want to do so in peace, knowing and reassured that my son will be independent and happy. Thank you for listening to me.